Yeah, because my father was not going to let any man be around his daughters or his son. There was no way in hell that my father would ever let, whenever, like, if the plumber had to come to the house to fix something, my mom and my sister and I were out shopping. We were never in the presence of a man who wasn't my father or my grandfather or my uncle at all. Like, at all. Like, if we went to the market, my dad would say, look at me, don't look at anybody else. Look at me, don't look at anybody else. And he would be aware. Like I said, if it was a guy who looked at his daughters a certain way, even though my sister and I wouldn't notice it, we're like here helping him pick an avocado. You know, he would bring us to the car, settle us in, and go back inside and deal with that person. And that's the reputation my dad has in our town. Like, he's not someone to cross. He doesn't play around, like, not with his daughters. And not, my sister is beautiful too. She's a Marine. She's the bomb.com. And you can't play with us at all.
Why are you up?
Because I got some important shit going on here. What do you think?
Boom, the well pass.
Appreciate y'all rocking with us, and please hit the like button. Please subscribe to Lucky's channel. I'm sorry, Lexie's channel. See, Lexie is the same shit. And I'm still stuck on y'all show that y'all had. Like, y'all show was fire.
I know. I know.
But it happens, you know. Worse things have happened. We think we're gonna be fine.
Okay, you know.
So
we're all evolving, and we're all trying the best that we can, right?
Right. Yeah, we'll all get there. So Savannah says, she asks, how does a woman wanting marriage and children navigate in this realm? I definitely had that question. I'm glad you asked it. Especially hearing that all masters aren't eternal. I'm assuming contracts play a big part in that.
Yes, so absolutely. So if an agreement that you have with your master is that you will be having children, so then he's going to have a whole other syllabus as to how his children are going to be raised, what preparation as the submissive he is expecting from you to prepare your body, your mind, your spirit, your whole being to carry this beautiful child into the earth that is going to be exceptional in life. That's just hands down. And so when you have children with a master, you're usually attached to him for the rest of your life in a way. Most women or submissives who do that find it hard to move on to be with another man. Like, they're just loyal and obedient to the father of their children. And usually, if he's going to have other women outside of that, hopefully he addressed that in the beginning when the contract was being drawn up. So you know if he's going to have a second woman or a third woman or whatever he wants. And you also know what to expect from him as being the father of your children. A man can have influence over your household even if he's not in the house 24/7, right? This is my father's home. Yeah, even if my father is in the home of the other woman that he's taking care of and providing for, this is still my father's home. My mother still belongs to my father. And if my mom would never in her whole freaking life be with anybody else but my dad. So I don't know, but like, once you have kids, that's who you belong to.
I got to put the damn shit up.
Shit like that.
Yeah, because my father was not going to let any man be around his daughters or his son. There was no way in hell that my father would ever let, whenever, like, if the plumber had to come to the house to fix something, my mom and my sister and I were out shopping. We were never in the presence of a man who wasn't my father or my grandfather or my uncle at all. Like, at all. Like, if we went to the market, my dad would say, look at me, don't look at anybody else. Look at me, don't look at anybody else. And he would be aware. Like I said, if it was a guy who looked at his daughters a certain way, even though my sister and I wouldn't notice it, we're like here helping him pick an avocado. You know, he would bring us to the car, settle us in, and go back inside and deal with that person. And that's the reputation my dad has in our town. Like, he's not someone to cross. He doesn't play around, like not with his daughters. And not my sister is beautiful too. She's a Marine. She's the bomb.com. And you can't play with us at all, you know.
Yeah, I got instant respect for men that raise daughters like you. Definitely hit our Cash App if you enjoy what she's the information, her answering your questions. You know, time ain't free. She's a busy woman. I appreciate you sharing your culture with us.
Thank you.
I'm learning a lot. I've kind of indirectly been. I guess I'm nowhere close as involved as you are. I've just kind of noticed it from having older women in my life, and then being the type of person I am. I'm assertive, upfront, honest, self-motivated. So I just, honesty is like, I just know where I'm at. I'm not the type of dude to be with one chick. And I've kind of noticed that this relationship makes polygamy like a secondary conversation. That's how I've always, it's just something that's just going to come up. It's not like
that's different. Polygamy is a little different than this is.
Yeah.
Because polygamy, I don't know, sometimes it's a religious thing. You know, people choose that through other mediums. This has nothing to do with religion. My religion is my man. He's my everything. I believe in God, and then I believe in him.
What?
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Yeah, Savannah, cover your ears. I don't even think you're old enough to be listening to this. What's up, Sporties? I ain't acknowledge you. My bad, bro. What's going on?
I want this to be a space where, you know, like I said before, anybody who identifies as a dom or submissive, a place where we all can talk and meet. You know, if we allow people up on the panel, I don't expect people to cam up. If obviously, you might want some privacy in your life. This is a way that I live my life. I want to share it with people candidly. I want to be able to use this platform, and I want everybody to support the channel that World Class has, support Savannah, and even myself in this, bringing you guys this information the way that you want and the way that you need it. Please give us feedback in the comments, in our DMs, in the IG or our emails. Let us know what you want to know about this. I am very open about this. My parents know that I'm like this. You know, I had to share it with them because my last master was a made man, a wise guy in New Jersey, we call them.
Oh, wow. Really? Ooh.
Yeah, he freaking just went to my mother's house. It was like, he was a different animal. He was like a person who will flip a table in a restaurant. He's a made man in New Jersey. He's a wise guy. And he was one of the, you know, I love him so much. And so he was a different type of master. But he was like, you know, where's your mom? I'm taking her a tray of ziti, and your parents are going to know that, you know, you're my girl. And so he had a different approach, which was still, thank you for that link, Savannah. Yeah, so, you know, my parents know that this is the way that I am. And to my dad, it makes perfect sense. My mom doesn't get it sometimes because she has a little bit of that feminist thing with her daughters, like, but she sees that it works for me.
Because this is not a thing that like your family passed down to you. It's just you have some family values that's similar to it, but it's something you kind of was introduced, as you said, from your ex. I mean, your when you was 20. So okay, got it. Yeah. You just answered that question. You said you agree with the lifestyle. I don't know. I'm a little behind.
My dad understands my choice. It makes sense to him. It makes, like, when I broke it down and talked to my parents about it, obviously, you know, they just see, like, my dad just understands. He didn't even know that there was a definition for this stuff. But he was like, oh, okay, this is exactly the way I raised you. You know what I mean? Like, I cater to my father and my brother. And then if my uncle is in the room, I give my aunt a little break and I cater to my uncle because I'm not married and I don't have kids in my family. So I try to give my sister-in-law, my mom, my aunt a little break from my brother and my uncle and my dad. And I'll be happy to be a sweet little and be like, "Hi, can I get you this? Can I get you that?" Because if I see my dad's eyes twinkle, that's what I live for. The twinkle of my dad's eyes when he looks at me and his approval and he's prideful of his daughter. I live for that validation. And I look for it. When I see my father, I look for him. I look for him. I look for him. I look for him to see if he's pleased with my behavior. And then when I'm done, he'll tell me, "Come over here, mamita," sit next to me, and he hugs me, he kisses me, and he tells me he's so proud of me and all these amazing things. And I feel like, man, it's just like there's nothing I can't accomplish in this life because I have my dad's approval, and I walk the earth with that knowingness.
All right. I'm sorry, I got lost in a train of thought of just all that goodness I just heard.
They would be fools to resist my divine power.
His death was a necessary loss. Soon I will have a new apprentice, one far younger and more powerful.
Remember, when a king is loved, much can be accomplished.
We didn't do this because we like you. We did this because we are you.
Boom, the world class.